Hey, what's going on, guys? Rick with Rick's Toy Room. It's been a very long time since we did any cool updates, did any fun videos, and I wanted to tell you about the next set of videos that are coming out very soon. So, before we do that, though, I want to talk about Florida SuperCon 2026. I was just down in Miami. CGC brought me in to do witnessing again, which is always a fun time, and got to spend a huge amount of time with a bunch of the artists that were there this year, plus all the celebrities. And I will tell you, this year was brutal on my feet, man. Um, so Friday, or sorry, we got in Thursday, and we were staying at the Lenox Hotel in Miami. Not a fan, man. A lot of problems with the hotel. It was kind of jankety considering everything. Had amenities that you really couldn't use. So I wasn't a big fan of the hotel. The AC the first night didn't work. We got done, or I got done, trying to sleep that night. Woke up very exhausted. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the AC worked just fine. But yeah, so the hotel was bust. Got to meet Kevin Eastman. Got to meet Joshua DeLyman. He was really cool, by the way. Got to see Peter Smith again. Now I've now seen Peter at like 3 different shows. And I've got all kinds of work from him. Got to meet Charlie Cox. Got to meet the chick that plays Jessica Jones. She is so tiny, really short, super thin. I didn't realize how thin she was until like seeing her in person and talking to her. But super cool person. I've got a love hate with Charlie Cox right now. Charlie bails out on most of his engagements. I can't tell you how many times he's scheduled to be at a con and he just doesn't show up. And he really kind of screwed all the customers on Saturday. So cool story. We weren't allowed to jump into the VIP lines this show, but for the most part, the volunteers for the show and the show staff were pretty cool about us. If we, pulled a couple people every now and then, we didn't like jump lines. And so we're in the Charlie Cox line, and I hear that Charlie is basically leaving early because he's got tickets to the England. Who's he playing? England, and I don't even remember who they were playing that weekend. But Charlie Cox, obviously being from England, was a huge England fan, bought tickets to the game. So he's like, I'm not staying. He's got shit scheduled all day. He's just like, no, I'm leaving. So he got there a little early, didn't start signing until noon, and by 2:30 he left so he can go to the game. And part of me is like, being a celebrity and knowing that, this trip was basically paid for, right? So the Comic-Con paid to fly him here. They paid for his hotel. They paid for his food. And then this guy just does a couple hours, dips out and goes and watches, soccer. Again, I don't necessarily know how I feel about that because part of me is like, the guy's human. The guy's basically got a free shot to do this. The game being played in the U.S. while you're here in Miami, same town. I mean, why not take advantage of it? But at the same token, you made a commitment to your fans that, hey, I'm going to be here doing autographs, and then you stay for like 2 hours and dip. So I've got a really love-hate with the guy. He was really nice. I've been through his line like 4 or 5 times, got to talk to him for a second. Really cool guy. He's just like I don't know, man. Part of me thinks he's arrogant. Part of me is like, man, it's cool to be to be, famous, right? You got all these things you can do. So I don't know. I don't hate him, don't like him. He's very much on the meh celebrity list to me. The guy that played Iron Fist is actually pretty short. I thought he'd be a lot bigger than he was, and he really wasn't that big at all. So that was that. The voice actors for the 1980s TMNT were there, and one of the things I got my hands on was the scribble pad from the guy that voiced Donatello. What was his name? I'll look it up. But he was really cool, but it was really weird because they had the 4 turtles and the voice of the 4 turtles, the voice of April O'Neil. They were all kind of like in a line, but Donnie was like behind a wall and you couldn't see him. So this guy's like, "No, I'm moving." So he gets up and moves his table. And everybody's like, "He can't do that. He can't do that." Within about 2 minutes, they're like, "Fuck it, he can do it." So that was kind of funny to watch him. He's like, "Why would you put me away from everybody? You can't see me behind the wall. This is stupid." So we just moved his table. And it was cool because, like I said, everyone was really cool about it. The guy that voices Michelangelo, Townsend, the poor guy's voice is going, man. Like Mikey had this very like high pitched voice in the cartoon, and his is old and raspy, and like he's just Townsend just doesn't got it no more. Like I love the guy, but I hate the guy. And then we got to meet the guy that voiced Leonardo, Leonardo was this guy. Donatello was the guy from Livonia, and he also voiced Pinky from Pinky and the Brain. And their names, I'm terrible with names. You guys know this. He was really cool, but man, he spent so much time talking to all the customers. We had one guy that was completely belligerent about the fact that he couldn't find anybody to help do witnessing. There's three of us. Kevin Eastman's here. His line's busy as shit. We basically posted one guy up there. We had all of the cast from Daredevil / Defenders there. So we had one guy basically posted up there. And then the rest of us, me, were running around between all the other artists, right? And so the guy was like getting real mouthy with the staff at CGC at the booth. So they send out a wire, hey, we need somebody to take care of this guy, kind of white glove him. So I'm like, I got it, go pick him up. And he's like, oh, I got VIP and yada, yada, yada. He runs me all the way across the convention to pick up his books. He wasn't even ready. Then we go from that side of the convention all the way to the other side of the convention to actually meet the artist and the voice actors. And like I said, the voice actors were taking their sweet ass time. Townsend and my boy were just like chilling, man, just all the time in the world. I mean, maybe a half hour at a time per customer. And so by the time this guy finally got up and got all 4 of his autographs, or 5 because he did the voice of April O'Neil as well, like he's like, man, that took so long. That was so terrible. I'm like, now you realize why you can't find a fucking witness, because if I'm doing this for someone else because they're being dicks, you're not getting any help because the rest of us are doing other autographs. So long story short, the guy interacted with pretty much everybody on the floor, all of our staff, and everyone hated this guy. Just a douchebag. So yeah, that was fun. So that was one thing I got to do. And like I said, listening to all the voice actors is really fun because they all try to do their voices for their customers. But at the same token, like I said, you could tell they just don't got it no more. Like, guys, you're getting old. You can't be doing this stuff no more. So that was pretty interesting. We got to sit in the Defenders panel. That was really fun. I sat and listened to that for a little bit, get off my feet. But, so with that said, the show was good. Like I said, Kevin Eastman was there, which, had I thought about it, one of my relived hobbies, I've been buying vintage video games. I could have taken Turtles and got it signed, but I got something better. So because we'd spent all weekend at Eastman's booth and, helping take care of all the people, getting witnesses, etc., as they were leaving, Kevin's assistant goes, we appreciate you guys helping us out. Take one. And got a signed artwork, 18 by 11 from Eastman, and this looks like maybe The Last Ronin. It's got a Ninja Turtle with an eye patch, nunchucks, a bow, arrow. Yeah, and this is actually signed by Eastman in 19, like the original print was, and then he signed it. But, so Kevin Eastman gave us a free print. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That was awesome. It saved me from, $65 paying for his autograph. Then, like I said, Peter Smith. Now, Peter Smith did the Crypto comic book that I showed you guys. He did that sketch of the Crypto having the squeaky Spider-Man. I got that back at a 9.8. Well, because we were helping Smith out all weekend, he gave us signed books, allowed to pick whatever ones we want. So I grabbed me a Turtles and a Darkwing. I was going to submit these to CGC, but by the time we got them, the booth is already closing. So I'll probably submit these through JSA to get the black and gold label on those. So I got some free comics from him. And then one I did submit was from Josh D. Lehman, was the Kirkman's Final Boss. Yes, Final Boss, issue 1, exclusive it's the Lyman variant, and it's got basically the Final Boss character staring down one of the other fighters, and it's a homage to Street Fighter Alpha 2. And I was talking to the artist that did the cover, and we were just shooting the breeze. He was kind of bored, and we were talking about the book. I'm like, dude, I've got like 5 copies of this book at home. I've got the Whatnot exclusive. I've got the pre-image version, the image version. I've got signed copies from Kirkman on these. I was like, I've still never read it. He's like, how have you not read it? Gives me a copy with his limited edition cover. So I read it, submitted it, was able to get that witness. So I'll be getting that back whenever it comes in. My G.I. Joe comics from MegaCon in February still haven't made it back. They're still in grading, so God only knows what's happening there. And then last but not least, I was talking to one of the Disney artists, and I got the sketch of Magneto and Wolverine, and he's got a final painted version of this that's coming out that's got the big X in the background. He's got some stuff he's going to do to it. But I was like, you know what? This is slick, and it's one of the original sketches. This will go good with the rest of my Disney art, my Lorcana cards. So that's what I picked up from MegaCon this year. Again, the show was good. The hotel kind of sucked. It was in walking distance of the convention, so on the way home, we walked home, but we took a golf cart there every morning. But that was fun. Last but not least, actually, you know what? We're going to do a whole nother video. So, Florida MegaCon, decent turnout. It was very much a lot more of an anime con, though. I found a lot more like Pokemon card dealers, a lot of 3D printed crap, a lot of like custom made anime stuff, a lot of the anime artwork. Like it was really heavy on the anime. A lot of the cast that did the voices of Beauty and the Beast, so Gaston, Belle, Cogsworth, and then the guy that did the girl that did Ariel and the guy that did Eric from Little Mermaid were there. So we had some Disney cast too, and then a bunch of anime actors that I just had no interest in. And most people, you know, anime fans don't do CGC. They don't do comics. They don't do anything of that nature. They don't do their mangas. So like, there's just no, there's really no love interest there for those characters. So that was it for last weekend. I'm going to do another video here as soon as I disconnect this one, and we'll talk about some new vintage video game stuff that's going on in my world. So with that, guys, like, subscribe, follow. More to come. The next con that we're going to do, I don't believe we're going to get hired for, but we are going to do Tampa in September. Ernie Hudson's coming, so I want to get a Crow autograph and a Ghostbusters autograph from Ernie Hudson. So that's on my to-do list in September. There's another show mid or late September, and then Spookala is going to have, or Spooky Empire is going to have a ton of actors. The Boondock Saints are going to be here, so that's going to be really cool. Just a lot more con stuff coming as well, so I'll keep you posted on what we get from those. All right, until then, next video.